Hello? Can anyone around here speak basketball?
There it is.
It's the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast.
Trust in Messiah. Welcome to the Confederacy of Dunks Basketball Podcast. I am your host, Freddie Rivas. And who, sir, are you?
I am the producer, Matt Duncan. I am here, having a good time. Freddie, how are you doing?
I'm also here, also having a good time. Excited for the Raptors game tonight.
Yeah. Back to back, too.
Back to back. We got Celtics. We got the Sixers.
Yeah.
We're healthy. They're not exactly.
Heavily depleted Sixers. Yikes.
Yikes for them. We are a Raptors fan podcast. We also talk NBA.
Yep.
You know, we're hardcores. We have analysts on. We have comedians mostly. And, you know, we're having a good time. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening to this pod.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to help us, if you want to, you know, see us grow and become more prominent in the Raptors and NBA landscape and life, you know, how can people do that, Maddie?
As I always started off with saying to go to dunkspodcast.com. Hey, look, I just renewed the domain name, so I got to throw it out there for people to use it. Go there. We've got all our links. You know, if you want to get on the podcatchers, you know, we're on Amazon Music now if you're like a Jeff Bezos head. And as well, the Sonar Network. That is the network we're a part of. Go to the sonarnetwork.com and look, all those podcasts you see at the top, and I'm talking about the pickup too, don't even worry about them. You want to click the and more button. That's where the real podcasts are, the ones in the basement, the ones in, you know, in Demolition Man, the people that lived underneath the grounds and they were the resistance. That's what we are. We're the resistance. So if you could check us out and give us a rating or whatnot on your favorite podcatcher, that would be fantastic. Click on the guest names as well. You can see what other episodes they've done on the network. Fantastico. And then, you know, we've got the Patreon. We've lowered the prices. We've made it Canadian A, and you can now get more for cheaper. So why not do that? Support us, and you'll start to get some bonus episodes and the whatnot. And last but not least, the toques. They're ready to be sold. Once again, Freddie's got them in his place in a bin with ziplocked, and they're ready to go.
Maddie, you are a pro. There's always so much going on with you. Just to touch on a few things, Canadian A came out real smooth. A lot of emphasis on us being the resistance. So cheers to that. You're just a gem. The toques, yes, Ziploc bag, they're fresh. It's getting cold. Come check them out. /order them. We got your back.
And I will say, check out the pickup. You know, I was just joking about not listening to it. You can listen to whatever you want on the network. I'm just proudly and more. That's all I'm trying to say here. So,
hey, I'm proudly and more too. I get you. And also, the third thing I was forgetting that, you know, I want to touch on that you said, just the word fantastico. That was funny. That's all. That was funny. Liked how you said it. But, you know, too much emphasis, I think. It popped hard. Folks, we got a really good podcast for you. And so much I'm dropping folks on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm dropping the
Doug Ford hammer.
Yeah.
I like it.
A couple pops and listen to some folks chat about the cottage. No, this is a Raptors pod. None of that here. But yeah, we got Dan Galea, one of my good friends. We got you know, Ryan Henry, good buddy as well. Hardcore basketball fans, and you know, just good people all around. We talk about Pascal's return. We talk about all the Raptors being 6'9", the NBA standings, who's kind of at the top, but maybe will slide a little bit. And Oh dear. Well, what else did we talk about? I'm blanking out here. Oh yeah, the rule changes. Yeah, we talked about the rule changes as well, and who they're affecting, and kind of if we like them or not. So yeah, have a listen, enjoy, and to all the people who have been listening, sharing, commenting, subscribing, everything, we really, really, really appreciate it. So thank you. And yeah, I feel like I'll say what I always say. Black Lives Matter, defund the police, stop Asian hate, and email your city councilors, email your MPs, email your MPPs. Okay. Do not be an idle citizen. You are a valuable constituent. So make sure your voice is heard. And also shout Maddie out. Last pod, he recommended watching, I think it's called Colin.
Black and White.
Colin in Black and White on I think it's on Netflix. But anyways, me and Caitlin, we watched 3 episodes. It's really good. It has heart. It's kind of funny. It's poignant. It's a look at the Black experience in America and in sports, and it's a good watch. So thanks for the recommend, Maddie. I'll try to finish watching that. Hopefully you can finish watching Space Jam at some point.
Fucking knew you were going to bring that up. You'll finish Kaepernick show and I'll finish Space Jam.
Yeah. Okay. I will, you won't, that's the deal there. I think, let's get rolling on the pod here. Maddie, if you feel like we're good to go, why don't you just give me those deliciously tasty words? Okay. Okay, let's get rocking here. I'm excited to talk some ball. Pascal's back. Lots going on with the Raptors world. When you do listen to this, it will be, in preparation for the Philly Raptors game. We're not sure what happens with Boston. That's in a couple hours. Hopefully it's a win. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's a win. But yeah, let's get going here with guest number 1. One of my very, very good friends. We have so much in common. He's an amazing producer, all over Toronto, the Garage Show, with the Adventure Tour. So I'm sure he'll correct me with the name, but he does Comedy on the River. He also does Fireside Tales. He does stand-up. He does sketch. He does improv. He does video. He can sell you stuff about online spaces. The man really can do a lot of things. He made my demo reel. He's the best. I love talking ball with him. Happy to have him back on. Give it up as loud as you can, even if you're at home alone, for Dan Galea.
Yeah. Oh man. I feel like that's like just getting out of a pool in the morning. That's what that is.
Yeah, I was waiting for like a beat to drop on that song, but I guess maybe that's just like you walk under like a sprinkler in a resort sound.
Slow motion for sure.
What's up, dude? Thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you. It's Toronto Adventures. That's the company that I do Comedy on the River with. And the only thing you didn't mention, which I'm trying to get off the ground, is my store, my DG store. So go to dangalea.ca and check out my weird clothing line. Get some Not Pants shirts.
That's wonderful. That's genius. You hear Maddie laughing in the back. He's probably already bought a whole stack of those.
Now I know to finish my Christmas shopping.
Yeah.
Listen, you need to outfit Maddie's snowblower with some of your gear, and you got yourself a lifelong customer, my friend.
Listen, you want a shirt that says Not Pants? I got it. You want a hat that says nothing on it? Like it actually says the word nothing on it? I got it. You got hats that say not bald on it. If you're not bald and you still want to wear a hat.
Sure.
So just stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, just tapping into ambivalence, tapping into
Thank you.
Weirdo. Thank you. Weirdo, just jokes.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is good. You're good. Let's bring on guest number 2. He's amazing. I just did a podcast with him today. We went live. Shout out Dexter Areola. Shout out Alan Shane Lewis. He's one of the OGs with Press Basketball. He is I don't know if he's a creator, but he runs the show at Below the Hardwood. Hardcore Mavs fan, also a hardcore Raptors fan. He's got a lot going on. I'm pretty sure he's a hardcore wrestling fan too. I'm a hardcore fan of him. Give it up as loud as you can, even if you're at home alone, for Ryan Henry.
Hey, and yes, I love the theme music. It's the only show where I come on and I feel like a wrestler. I'm coming out and this is my entrance song, and you just get pumped. But yeah, no, definitely a Mavs fan, definitely a Raptors fan, and yes, one of the co-creators of Below the Hardwood 10 long years ago.
My God. Well, I'm glad to have you. It was fun, doing your various segments. It's always fun thinking about, the way people do pods and the way I do my pod. And I love your caps, no caps final segment. And perhaps I don't want to get anyone in trouble here, but maybe, just maybe, someone who's organizing the Raptors entertainment stole your guys' idea. I mean,
right?
Could have happened. Looks pretty similar.
Alan's I don't know. The arena sees cap or no cap. I'm like, you guys are watching my stuff. Okay, all right.
Yeah, somebody's watching. You're doing a good job, I guess, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, let's dive right in. Let's talk some Raptors ball. Matty, good sir, I know you're back there. Please give me your most weird, non-Aaron Baines. That's done, but your weirdest, craziest audio, whatever Raptors sting. Okay, let's do it. Ryan, let's start with you. Let's just jump right on the return of Pascal Siakam. Limited minutes. He was taken out at the end of the fourth there. I feel like we probably weren't going to beat Brooklyn anyhow. He's back. Precious to the bench. What are your thoughts in general? Like how do you think we look with him, versus without him?
Honestly, it can only be better without. Better with, because when you think about it, like we were doing pretty good in the last couple of weeks since that horrible start. It's another body on the floor that's going to cause attention, right? Like when he's there, it's going to leave guys like Fred with another option to shoot. It's going to leave Scotty, depending on, if I don't know if they're going to play both of them the full ride, but it's going to leave people open. So that's a guy that you're going to have to plan for. That's a guy you're going to have to, coaches are going to have to be like, okay, well, he's back. He's going to, we might need to focus on him a little bit more. The Raptors had Fred, OG, and Scotty. Probably you'd have to game plan for. So now just adding that fourth guy, that's just another great option. It's going to cause some issues for other teams. It's just going to add more to Nick Nurse's playbook. And people forget, in I'm not going to say his prime, but in his non-injured days and the days where, he was healthy and just, available for us, he was our guy. He's the max guy. Like you're just adding more offense. You're adding more intangibles to a team that's already, semi good. I don't know if we're top East contender, but I think with him, I think we can really get back into there and contest for that top 5 spot.
Yeah. No, I think he's such a massive addition to the team. He is, he was all NBA. He is our leader. He is our max guy. He's very likely the best player on the team, which, if you're excited about Scotty and OG and Fred, it's a reminder that, until proven otherwise, he's the one who's made an all-star game, started in the game.
Yep.
Had a finals clinching bucket, and had, Scottie Pippen like numbers in a finals run. So I'm not really even here for the argument that like he hasn't proven himself, because I think I'm a little bit past that. Like he's proven himself, but I do think reintegrating himself will be a task of sorts. I just want to touch on, you mentioned Nurse's playbook. I think that's going to be a big, big theme to watch. Spacing, how it all works. Scotty, is there any kind of like duplication of skills? Is it good that we're all kind of like giant? What about you, Dan? Where are you at with Pascal and his return?
Yeah, I think it's a great thing. I agree with most of the stuff Ryan said, because he's just going to be attracting defenses. And with OG playing the way he is, he's only going to be better when those shots are open. Right now, before Pascal was there, they were double teaming him. They had kind of a, leeway to do whatever they wanted with some of these guys. But now with Siakam back, he's going to take the attention away from other people like OG and Freddie, and it's going to create more open shots. Also, Siakam to me is just like, he just needs to play he came in playing a lot better than I thought he would. I thought he'd at least have a few warm-up games where you're like, oh God, man, stop forcing everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he came in and seemed like he was letting the game come to him. And I said to you, I think like weeks ago, I said, like, I think it's going to take a little bit for this team to start meshing, because they're like a new team that have never played with each other, super young. So I was saying, like, it's going to take a while before we even see what this team is at its peak. And then now with Siakam back, it's going to take another bunch of time to get used to the new flow with Siakam in it. You know what I mean? So it's like waiting for that to happen is going to take some patience, but we're going to see some amazing basketball. We're going to see some soul-crushing basketball. And then eventually, hopefully, the team evens out and we get into that 5th, 4th place scenario where, because I think the potential of this team is out of this world. Like, I think that, like, if they were clicking on all cylinders and OG was hitting baskets and Freddie was hitting baskets and Siakam was hitting baskets and Barnes is playing the way he's playing, and Birch is just like looking so good this year too. It's like we have a chance to compete. And I just think that, my biggest thing with Siakam is just he sometimes seems to forget who he is. He's really good. And when he's like dominant and aggressive, he's great. But sometimes he like forgets who he is. And it's like he gets so aggressive because he thinks that's his whole game and starts forcing things and getting fouled and all that stuff. And we'll see what happens. Maybe he's, players grow up, players change, players learn from their past seasons. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, well said. I mean, like, lots of good points there. I feel like you both kind of touched on the space is going to open for Fred, for OG, and good point, Dan, too. Like I feel like the first couple games we saw lots of OG and Fred just totally getting swarmed, and also want to touch on like the time we've taken to figure out kind of what we've figured out so far in terms of chemistry. Pascal might add some time to that, even though he's a very complimentary player in a lot of ways. And, I think the thing that stuck with me the most out of what you just said was like Pascal is clearly really talented. And I think he's where I'm coming from with Pascal is I feel like he's always been, opportunistic in nature. And part of being a number one guy is like, you have to kind of go beyond being opportunistic. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to look at a situation where there is no opportunity and create one. I think you even see it with a guy like Trent as he's, worked his way into, the starting lineup and the team. He's like, okay, 3 seconds left, 4 seconds left. You give me the ball. That's a shot. You're not getting the ball back. I don't pass. And I might make it too. So I feel like if you're Fred and you're dribbling around and you're Pascal and you're dribbling around, you're like, okay, just if I pass to Trent, not getting it back. If I pass to OG, maybe. If I pass to Birch, very likely. So I think all those things kind of got to congeal. And Pascal's, he's awesome. So I think I'm with you guys. Sky's the limit here. And it's exciting.
I think Trent's going to benefit the most from Pascal's return, to be honest with you, because Trent now is kind of like the 4th person on a team's mind, right? Like you want to guard like OG, Freddie, and Siakam. Yeah. And I really feel like Trent's going to open up. Like it's going to be like, it's okay that he's not passing. he's not being covered as much as the other guys, and he was already getting, his buckets when he was getting double teamed because we didn't have that extra player. So I think Trent might really have a breakout year because of that kind of thing.
Yeah, totally. I mean, if you're OG, if you're Svi, if you're Trent, it's like go in there and toss up shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep this baby going. Maddie, I want to bring you in. I want to talk rebranding, joke rebranding mostly with the Raptors. We are giant and long, and this vision of Masai, I feel like Dan, we've joked about it a bunch, Matt over the years. I don't know what interview it's from, but there was a time when, Masai joked that, and I've said this on the pod before, but in response to small ball, you just have a bunch of giants and you don't even dribble it and you just pass it around until you get a dunk. And it was obviously a joke. However, we do seem to be kind of becoming that anyways. Yuta Watanabe is not even back yet. He's 6'9". Yeah, let's go to you first. Dan. And what I'm looking for here is just in the spirit of like we the North. Well, what's the Raptors like 6'9" rebrand? What are we called? What's
all right, I have two.
emphasis? Sure.
You got 6'9" Mafia.
Great. Just great.
And then the other one is Toronto. Welcome to Toronto.
Okay. Oh wait, and is the welcome to like a big part of the brand? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
Is it you saying that, or like?
I feel like it's like Matt Devlin's voice.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome to Toronto. Toronto.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's exactly what I'm looking for here. We're tall. That's the deal. We don't have a tall center, but we're tall.
We're star 6'9s, stuff like that.
No, it's good stuff.
Star 6'9s.
I mean, yeah, they're just like
that's pretty good.
I know Dan well, so
it's just fucking hitting dingers.
Yeah, these might keep coming. We might be on to our like fifth subject, and Dan might be like,
the next pod should just be all of these.
All right, Ryan, what's your Raptors rebrand? Oh, I think you're muted.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about that.
Back, baby.
Nowhere near as good as Dan's over there, but
fair.
I had the land of tall trees.
That's good, just because it's weird.
It's weird. I'm not used to having such a tall team. Like at most, you get like one guy who's like 6'11", but like just everyone averaging out to like 6'8", 6'9" is absolutely nuts. But yeah, I had the land of tall trees. Land of
tall trees is real good. I mean, you know what? I shouldn't underestimate anyone's weirdness because I'm sure Matty D's coming in here with some weird ass stuff. Maybe not though. What's up, Matty? Where are you at with we got a lot. Land of tall trees is. Dan had 3 dingers, but land of tall trees is a home run because just thinking about the pictures, like we're a bunch of like red oaks or I don't even know. It would be weird. Like.
So I had a couple of things. One, just a classic one, just calling them the Toronto Skyline. Giving them the skyline is moving tonight. The skyline is moving tonight.
Okay,
I like that.
The 6 and the 9. Now I'm always looking to incorporate some references to past movies and whatnot. Mm-hmm. I'd love to do a kind of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure thing. Now they're not 6'9". There's no like height reference to this, but they are obsessed with 69ing in that movie.
Okay.
They if you haven't seen it, they want to learn guitar and they want a 69, I guess. So those are the two things they want to do.
Oh yeah.
So if we could do kind of like I don't know, like Nick Nurse is dressed up as Rufus, and like all of them are jammed into a telephone booth that like gets like dropped down before every game. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be great.
But yeah, either or, Skyline or some weird 69 joke.
Either or, the Toronto Skyline, or you put these guys in a phone booth, drop them from the sky. No worries. One or the other, eh? Okay. Mine is I think I wasn't trying to sound cool, and maybe this will just expose me for the loser I am. But I can't. The only thing I could think of was spider ball. I'm thinking like small ball, like the Warriors era, and kind of like We the North. And I'm like, we're all like long limbed, kind of like. I was thinking like crab ball, but then I'm like, that might be like gross or something. But spider ball, spiders are kind of gross anyways. I don't know. But I just think, you get trapped in our web, like you can turn the ball over and then like we'll wrap you up and like eat you later or whatever. Spider ball. That's my thing. Spider ball. Okay, let's
I kind of like your crab people thing.
Yeah, crab ball. Well,
I'm a South Park guy, so
nice.
crab people.
Guys, I don't know the reference. I feel like an old man. I'm so sorry. All right, let's move on to some NBA stuff. Lots going on. And right before we do, we're just going to take a quick break in case we got any ads. And we're back. Okay. Let's move on to some NBA. What's that?
I want to get some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Me too. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crab balls. No worries.
Yeah, you're going to get a tropical cream for sure.
Crab ball buffet. All right. Let's move on to some NBA stuff. Maddie, good sir, why don't you give me that Adam Silver, whatever you got. Just give me the NBA sting.
This is Adam Silver.
Paging Bobby Webster. Paging Bobby Webster.
Oh, yeah. The paging Bobby Webster. You threw in a couple of those. Huge.
Just mixing it up a little.
Big Halloween shout out to our boy Bobby Webster. I think we missed him last time. Pascal had a video where they were, dressing different Halloween characters, and Bobby Webster was I forget exactly what he was, but he went in pretty hard. Yeah, I mean the guy likes coffees, the guy likes Halloween. No worries. Let's start with you, Ryan.
Yes.
And just for anyone that if you don't watch a lot of other basketball besides the Raptors, this question is kind of about the rule change. This is something I love in the NBA. Like, this is where I feel like my nerd brain gets activated. I love that a guy like Trae Young and Harden, part of what they do is built on, developing a skill set that kind of comes from the Jordan rules and, not being able to foul a guy as he's dribbling or swipe as much. And, they're crafty guys. Like you're a big Dirk fan. Ryan, he definitely, became a master at the end one. Luka came into the league, a master of the end one. And I think the NBA is working real hard to take away the non-basketball play, as they say, or the embellishing type of play. And it's affecting a lot of guys. A lot of numbers are down, and it's changing the game, I think. And usually when there's like a ref initiative, there's like a week or two, and then there's like this adjustment period, and it's kind of like the refs ease back and the players, kind of continue doing what they were doing. Maybe there's some real change. This seems like it's sticking. Lillard kind of came out and said it was bad. His numbers are way down. Where are you at on these rule changes? Do you like them? Do you think they're, here for the right reason?
Honestly, like I was listening to Draymond Green. He was kind of saying he actually found the game more watchable. Apparently, he wasn't watching a lot of NBA. I'm like, really? He found it more pure, and I do too, to be honest. Like, yeah, you get that awkward like 2 seconds where everyone's like, wait, is that a foul? Oh no, play on. Okay, we're gonna go down now. I like it. I think it, makes the game fast. There's less foul calls. It's just play on, go for it. Obviously, guys like Harden and Trey have been drastically affected by it. To be honest, the only thing I'm not a fan of is that they have made Harden the poster boy for it. And now you can't go on Instagram on a basketball feed and not see, oh, Harden thought he got fouled. And like, it's just, a video of him literally getting hacked, and like, they're just not calling it because he is the guy now, right? He's the guy that this rule was almost designed for. I think they might even switch it to the Harden rule eventually, because like, it sucks for him because everyone's looking at him now because he was the main culprit. And yeah, he was, obviously. Like, you get to the line that many times, you can say half of his 30 points that he would usually average came from free throw shots, and it's true. And you look at him now and it's like, okay, the first couple weeks he was like, what, 10 and 15 points, like, he was just off on. But now that we know it's established, I just feel he's the real victim of this. And yeah, I'm seeing him drive and arms are just like hitting him, and he's just like, I can't catch a break now. But overall, I love the rule. It's great. It was the pump fake and leaning in. That was the thing that bothered me. That was the one that I'm like, I'm happy to see that go. But just, the less calls when you're driving into the lane, that's the one I'm just kind of like iffy on, especially when it comes to Harden.
Man, I got, great points. Couldn't agree more. I think it's both like an honor and a curse for James Harden, because you look at some of the rule changes in the NBA, and they were often made to, enhance a part of a game or kind of slow down something that a player was exploiting. Shaq had rule changes because he was too dominant in the paint. Obviously, Wilt Chamberlain, the Jordan rules, I think, were made to kind of like let people dribble a bit more. So perhaps, more favorable for Jordan. But I think like it made it, a big scoring league. And I don't know any, hardcore basketball fans that are like, hey, I love free throws. Like, every major basketball fan I know is like, understand it's a part of the game, but it's not anyone's favorite part of the game. It just isn't. No. And, on the other hand, I'm totally with you. I feel sorry for James Harden. I feel like he kind of perfected something, and then now the game has like changed. But that's the NBA, right? Like, Steph came in and it was like, I'm going to shoot from here and this often, and the game's going to change because of it. Like, you can't have a big slow center because I have a team full of guys that can run and shoot and pass from the three, and it's just going to destroy you if you have a bunch of lumbering bigs. So it's just about, adapting. And I think it is more watchable basketball. I think it's closer to playoff basketball. I'm excited for, when the regular season goes to the postseason, and there isn't this like dramatic shift where it's like all of a sudden guys that were just getting to the line nonstop aren't. And it's like, wait, how did all the refs simultaneously agree on this? And it's clearly an initiative, because I think people, it's not as entertaining in the playoffs when you see somebody go to the line that much. And, I'll shout you out. Like, you look no further than like, the Dwayne Wade, Shaq Heat. Like, yeah, sure, the Heat deserved that win over Dallas. But the amount of times that Wade went to the line, and this is a long time ago.
Questionable.
Yeah, it's questionable, and it's frustrating, and it's like, Wade's amazing. So, but it's just, anyways, yeah. Like, I'm excited to see guys like Trey and maybe Harden's a bit old, but like Luka, I'm excited to see them be like, okay, this isn't a part of the game, then I'll adapt in another way. And definitely frustrating as a Raptors fan, because you could see a guy like OG is like trying to work that into his game, and it's like, well, dude, maybe that's not really how the NBA works anymore. so maybe you won't get those calls. But yeah, well, where are you at, Dan? Are you enjoying this? What do you think about the rule change?
Yeah, well, free throws is my favorite part of the game. I have asthma, so
I have asthma.
the only part I'm really good at. But I mean, I like the new rules. I never liked the flailing and the kickouts and stuff. But the thing is like I feel like it's a rule change, but like the refs were always supposed to call that as bullshit. You know what I mean? Like if a guy like jumps up and kicks you in the stomach, like that's not a thing. You know what I mean? Like the ref should be seeing that anyway. So it's just creating a new thing for the refs to get wrong. In my opinion, it's like now they're gonna be like, oh wait, what's the rule change? And like people like OG are just gonna get battered on the way to the rim, and that's gonna be okay because they're like. And in another sense, like it might just even things out for the Raptors because we never really got calls anyway. So, like maybe maybe everything will kind of even out for us. But for the most part, I mean, yeah, I like the rule change. I don't like. There's a small part of me that feels like, you know, the best players in games are the ones that learn to manipulate the rules to their advantage because, like, because it's almost unfair to change them in some sense because it's like if you have like these guys that are so high level that they're like able to like kind of find that gray area and they live there and that's what they made their career off of. It's weird to take that gray area away. You know what I mean? It's not a steroid. It's just a thing they figured out. You know, and
you're right. Totally.
Years. So that's the only thing. But that's life, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well said with the gray area. I mean, like, you know, I know we moved on to the NBA, but, you know, all Raptors fans, you should be able to admit that, you know, so much of Kyle Lowry's entire game is built on manipulating the gray area and the margins of the NBA. And, you know, that whether it's a 2-for-1 shot or the charge or, you know, drawing a call, whatever, he's a master of that. Matty D, you popped in here. I feel like
I just wanted to tie in a thought to this. Like, it's not really a rule change or anything, but there have been a lot of complaints across the league about this from players. They have changed the game ball back to a Wilson for the first time in 37 years. Yeah. A lot of players are complaining about the feel of it. They're saying that, you know, it's the Spalding ball was like, it felt the same every time. And this one feels a bit different. And I think that free throws made is kind of down a bit across the league. So I was just wondering if, you know, it's always interesting. It's happened with baseball a few years ago too, when they've changed the ball or something in some way. And, you know, now it's like, going back to the original brand, really, which is what, you know, it started with a Wilson and now, you know, tying in with the free throws and the rule changes and stuff.
Yeah, I saw a lot of stars, like from Paul George to Booker. I think I saw something about Dame. So like it's a thing. Like it's not even an excuse. And all the words started, this is not an excuse.
Yeah.
every sentence started, this is not an excuse. I'm like, okay, they're all saying the same thing. So it's not just like one or two guys, it's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's an interesting point too, because I feel like, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago they changed the ball. And I remember Nash was like the most vocal about like this needs to change, and they actually changed it back. I don't think it was like it wasn't a Wilson Spalding like brand thing. I think maybe, you know, I know Castaway 2 and Flubber 2 are coming out, so this might be
that's like what did it.
Yeah, this could be a marketing thing.
Flubber,
they're gonna be there. It's one of those things.
Flubber.
Both the sequels are gonna be together, so
it'll be a basketball this time instead of a volleyball.
I think so, and
that's
Flubber
cool.
Island or something.
I like that.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. Dan, let's stick with you after my dumb joke. We'll keep an eye on crab ball.
I need to watch Flubber again.
Yeah, check Flubber, guys. Come on. Watch Flubber again. If you do, Matt promises to finish Space Jam 1 and get cracking on Space Jam 2. Either that or he doesn't get to ride the snowblower this year. So it's a deal we shook on. Dan, let's keep with you. Just a classic standings question. Who's up there? Again, so early in the season, but who is up there? Who has a good record? And you think it's either not going to last or just not reflecting like the hierarchy of the league, East or West?
This is like kind of like factless. Like this is no like anything behind this, but
love it.
But are the Wizards allowed to do good?
That's a good question.
Like I just feel like it just feels like they're gonna fall apart. They're not allowed to be any good. Like it just feels like this is weird. It's like you play them and they're good, and you're like, what the fuck? Stop. Like you're just like, this is weird. It just feels off to me. So my team would probably be the Wizards. I think they're gonna somehow find a way to like fall apart. And yeah, that's just how I feel.
The Wizards is the obvious answer to this question. I feel like even as I wrote it, I was kind of, I guess, looking for like runner-ups to the Wizards.
Okay.
They have a 7-3 record. They look good too. We were even mentioning that, or Alan Shane was mentioning that on your pod, Ryan. And I think we're all agreeing, like, you got to give them their flowers. Like they look kind of well-rounded. Harrell's looking good. Dinwiddie. Shout out Dinwiddie, looking good too. And we'll always keep you up to date on Dinwiddie's I think $80,000 or $90,000 Ironman suit. He said he was going to build it 4 years ago. So. He did. Look it up. Look it up. It's in construction. Will hopefully be done soon. But Wizards are definitely the team. I think that's the best answer. Ryan, is it the Wizards for you? Do you have a runner-up? Is there another team maybe that might fall?
The West is pretty legit. It's like you have Utah, you have Golden State. It's funny. I'm about to crap on my own team. The Mavs are not a real 7-3 team.
Oh my God, that was my team.
I watch their games and I'm like, you guys, like, they win, but they'll go down like 16 points. Like I was at the Raptors Mavs games. The Raptors went up 16-2. And I'm sitting there in a Luka jersey. I'm like, oh, this is gonna happen again. The last time I went to a Raptors Mavs game, the biggest franchise comeback in history. So I'm like, I'm sitting there depressed. And then all of a sudden, yep, of course I had to be there for that. I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, they decided to wake up now. So the only game that I was like, I am satisfied with this victory and they look legit was Luka's buzzer beater against Boston. Because that was the second time he did it to them. And I'm like, okay, I'm out of the 9 times we've played, finally I feel comfortable with the win. So that 7-3 looks fake to me. It's sad, but I hope they do better. But Cleveland, just like Dan said, there's teams that you just look at and you're like, you're supposed to be bad. So just stay bad. You're supposed to be poverty stricken and just in permanent purgatory. So my permanent purgatory teams in the East, there's usually Washington, Cleveland, and New York. But I feel like better days in New York, so it's a little bit more believable that they'd be in the top 6. But Cleveland is literally right behind Washington at 7-4. So yeah, that's my facade team.
Ooh, I should have. Yeah, thank you for the wording there. Facade team for sure. That's going in my little Twitter promo when I push this pod out. And man, Dallas was my team. Although, just to, first of all, anytime you're a fan of a team and you can kind of come with the goods, just respect to you, hat tip to you.
I will keep it real.
You got to keep it real. Although, just to, throw the Mavs a bit of a bone, I thought, I guess it's early Raptors season, but I thought out of all the teams that have beaten the Raptors so far, I thought they handled the Raptors the most. I feel like Luka went into halftime and
woke up.
They were basically like, hey, if they're going to double team this aggressively, Luka, you can kill these guys. And he did. He really made it look easy. And he kind of scared me. In terms of stylistically, I was like, oh man, he's a special player. So I think in that sense, I'm not too scared of the rest of the league, but if we're going to aggressively double team and kind of be this like running all over the place team, then a guy like Luka is going to figure it out. He's going to kill you.
Yeah.
I love the forever purgatory bottom teams. I'm totally in agreement. Cleveland kind of looks, it's weird though. They're kind of looking legit. The Mavs were my team. The team I'm gonna, I guess, throw a little bit of shade on, although I think they're not. I think they're kind of like a 500 team. Is the New York Knicks? I feel like they are improved, but they're not going to be as good as last year in terms of record. I think they're like a legit kind of like play-in team. I don't know. There's something about the way they play that I'm not sure just how kind of like repeatable it is. But I mean, they were pretty good last year, lost to the Hawks and added guys. So maybe I'm just wrong there. The Mavs are my team, so who knows? Maybe the Knicks are a reach. But yeah, let's finish strong here. Let's do some quickish questions. Maddie, my boy, would you hit that quickish questions sting?
Quickish question.
Oh my God. Here we go. Quickish questions. You guys know the drill. Everyone listening at home, you know the drill. I'm going to read through some questions. I might stutter. I might slur. I might misread a comma. That's okay. You have to persevere. You have to answer as fast as you possibly can. I'm doing warm up for Family Feud these days. This is like fast money, okay? You just got to let it fire. And if it's embarrassing, joke's on you. As always, I got to call him out. Matty D, I'm looking at you.
Huh?
No tricks. Don't turn on the AC and say, could you say that again? Nothing like that. I don't want any hijinks. Okay, let's do this. Let's go. Ryan, Dan, Matty D. All right, here we go. Ryan. Fred VanVleet biopic movie should be called.
Oh, well, easy one is bet on yourself, but I would go The Little Big Guy.
I like that.
Because he's little, but he plays big.
Yeah, that's got like a Arnold Danny DeVito vibe.
Yeah.
Galea. How can OG get more fouls?
Finger extensions. If he gets long finger extensions, people will see people touching his fingers more.
Totally.
And then, boom, more fouls.
Thanks. Yeah, those are real, and yeah, he'll do that for sure. Huge. Matty D.
Yes.
Who would be Yoda's NBA equivalent?
Yoda's NBA equivalent. Past. Can it be a past person?
You better believe it.
I think it would be maybe a Muggsy Bogues. No, I'm not just picking on him because he's real tiny.
Sure,
but I think
he might be. But
I think he's just full of wisdom.
Yeah. Hey, we've seen his commercials. He reads to his grandkids. That's a wisdom guy right there. Also, Matty D, that was sly. Repeated the question. Okay. And then he did something else to stall too.
Yeah, I asked the question.
Yo, we asked the question.
I clarify and I read back.
Oh wow. Okay. Man. Oh, okay. That's on me now for stammering. This is an all play. Let's bring this home strong, everybody. Ryan, whose minutes will Utah take?
I want to say I could see him eating into Precious minutes. He's tall, right? He's tall. He could take Precious.
He's 6'9".
Yeah.
Skinny,
But why not?
Danny G.
He might take some Boucher minutes if Boucher doesn't start playing better.
Yeah.
That's my take for sure. Maddie?
Yeah, I was actually going to say Boucher as well, mainly because I drafted him in my fantasy league and it's been hell. And I would also say he might take a little bit of Kem Birch just to help with injury stuff, like to help rest him a bit.
Yeah, I might even throw a little Delano in there. Especially if we end up sending Delano to the G League for a bit. But my goodness, we made it. This is the end of the pod. End of Quickish questions. Thank you guys so much. This was a fun one. Let's go to you first, Ryan. Below the hardwood for sure. But, tell people about that. Tell people about whatever you want. What's going on?
Yeah, just host of Below the Hardwood NBA podcast, part of the Press Basketball Network. We are press.net. It's just, 3 guys and sometimes a guest. We actually had Freddie on a little bit earlier today. It's on YouTube. You can go check it out. Other than that, yeah, you can find me at R.A. Henry on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a live YouTube pod. I think it was one of my first times doing that. We had a character named Blasted J tuning in with comments.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, Blasted J was the name, but this guy knew his stuff. Okay. It was like he was coming in with nonstop like facts and heaters. And Blasted J, whoever you are, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
What up?
I have no idea who that is myself. I think Alan might have, but he was a good time.
He's Blasted and he's Jay. You know what I mean? Yeah, he'll be in line for Flubber Castaway 2 for sure.
I gotta go watch Flubber now.
Galea, what's up? You always got so much going on.
I'm looking for someone to clean my place. If anybody wants to come by and just kind of give this place a once over, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
So I get that out there. I have my DG store, dangalea.ca/DG store. If you want to get some weird clothes. You can check out the Instagram at DG store, or you can check out my Insta at DG special.
Damn right. Support both these guys. They're amazing. And a huge thanks, as I've been doing recently, to everyone who's been listening to the pod, sharing it, spreading the good word. Give us some reviews, get in there on Apple and be like, yo, 5 stars. These guys are crazy. They all have like huge asses or whatever. I don't know why I went in that direction, but could be cool. That's all. We'll see you next week. And thanks again, guys. Thanks for everyone who's listening. And Matty D, if you feel like we're done and we're good to go, please just give me those sweet, sweet words. Okay.
This podcast has been brought to you by the Sonar Network.